is an opportunity for South Florida. It is an opportunity down here in these congressional districts to send a message. To send a message that there is something that is happening in South Florida. There is a recommitment of the people to the principles and values upon which made this the greatest nation that the world will ever know in 234 years. There is something going on in South Florida that says we are going to restore this republic, this great constitutional republic that's based upon the rule of law and the rights and freedoms of the individual, which are getting trampled. You know, when I sit around, I'm reading a book right now called Control Freaks. And I would advise you to get that book. Because when you look at chapter upon chapter upon chapter, you understand how each and every day a little bit more of the liberty of the American people is getting taken away from them. The legislation is being introduced called livable communities, where they want to reduce the ability of the American people to drive cars. They want to force you into mass transit. They want to force you into bike paths. They want to force you into walking. That's not the American spirit. Because when the frontier opened up, we said, there we shall go. We were not afraid. We didn't go and ask government for a wagon, a horse, a bag of flour. We figured it out. When we ran into obstacles like the Great Mississippi River, we didn't turn around and say, who's going to come and build a bridge? Is there a shovel-ready project out there? The American spirit figured it out. That's what we cannot allow to be harnessed. That is what we cannot allow to be enslaved. There's an article today by the Wall Street Journal, and you need to read this article because the United States of America is being legislated into an entitlement state. I believe that we do have to take care of the American people. I believe that programs such as Medicare and Medicaid, Social Security, the S-chip, the VA are very important. But I do not believe in making victims in this country because that's not who we are. I do not believe in making Americans dependent upon government so that government can grow. And so that when you look around and all of a sudden you see 47% of Americans not paying federal income taxes, but yet they have the ability to vote for the entitlements and the free things that a manipulative government will promise them. All on the backs of the other half of the American people, the production class. And that's why I say every American deserves a tax cut. Here today, the Republican Business Network, you're about small businesses. Dante and his car wash, you and your bakery that you have, that's the backbone of who we are. And most small businesses, guess what? Their tax rate is based upon their personal income tax rate. So when you're going to say that you're not going to allow a tax cut for those people that are $250,000 and above, $250,000 is not a lot of money for a small business owner, first and foremost. You're going to destroy our small businesses who are already under an incredible tax burden, who are already worried about what this health care law is going to do to them, who are already putting more and more Americans on the unemployment rolls. But then you have someone like the Speaker Pelosi that turns around and says that unemployment checks are the means by which you can stimulate an economy and create jobs. This is the mentality that we're up against. This is what we are fighting against. And this is why this journey has brought me to this point. Because the United States of America that my father left these shores to defend in World War II, the United States of America that my older brother left these shores to defend in the Vietnam War, the United States of America that I left on countless of times in my 22 years to defend, the United States of America that my young nephew has already left twice to go serve in Afghanistan is worth the fight. It's worth the freedoms. It's worth the liberty. It's worth understanding that we are an exceptional nation. We are an exceptional people. And there's nothing wrong about being proud of the accomplishments that we have done. Shame on anyone that wants to put us down and make us feel bad about what we have achieved and accomplished, because we are a beacon. We are a light. And that's why I'm here. Because I believe that we must come together with those lights and make it continue to shine. I always tell people that great line from President Ronald Reagan that said, "This America is a shining city on a hill." It is a beacon of hope for a world that if it goes out, there will be a new dark age. That is what is at stake in the November 2010 elections. Now I have to tell you something. It's so amazing to me that back in 2008 when this young guy came along and everyone figured he was just a rookie at this thing, nobody really paid any attention to him. Nobody was running negative attack ads against him because they didn't think anything about it. Nobody was paying the Florida Democrat Party to send a young man to follow me around everywhere that I go so that he can take what I'm saying. And here he is tonight, just the same as he was at 12 noon today at the First Baptist Church in West Palm Beach at a non-political event, trying to find something that he could take back to the Florida Democrat Party that they can use against me. This is how desperate the other side is. This is how fearful they are, not of me, but the voice that I bring, which is your voice. And I want to tell this young man one simple thing. Come here, young friend.
Yes, want me to come up?
You see this young man right here? You tell your friends at the Florida Democrat Party that I am committed to this young man's future and legacy. That I do not care what you guys print, what you guys say, what negative attack ads that you run, because I will defeat you so that he has the legacy that my grandparents and my parents left to me. So you take that to the bank.